Hello everyone, Mama B here from Hooks and Yarn. I'm going to quickly show you how easy it is to make a granny square. Before we get started, let's make sure that we have a list of everything that we need. So we're going to need yarn. You can choose to do different colors of yarn, or I'm today just going to show you one color of yarn. Pair of scissors, darning needles, any size to tuck in your ends. I have markers. Although I'm not going to use it today, I do have a row marker. Not necessarily, you should be able to just count them off if you need. And then just a variety of hooks. However, today I am going to use what I used for my previous swatch here. It's an I 5.5. So let's get started. Okay, what we need now is a slip stitch. So you're going to hang onto your thread. Ball side is this way. And I wrap it around my two fingers, hang on to it with my pinky, slip the hook in, grab the one from behind, and just pull the thread. There's many different ways that you can do it. As long as this one is secure and your ball thread is the one that's can be adjusted. Okay, turn my camera around so it's easier for you to see. Please bear with me. I was peeling oranges. That's why my fingers are all stained. But back to our crocheting. So you've done your slip knot. So you hang on to your knot, put your yarn over your hook, and pull it through. That's how you chain. Chain one, chain two, over and through. So chain three. So in this very first chain, see how it's V'd? 1, 2, 3. Your very first one, you want to put your yarn over and go through that very first chain. Keep a hold of your knot. Yarn over and pull through. So now you've got like three loops on your hook. You're going to pull through 2, and you're going to pull through the last 2, and that's a double crochet. So you got your 3 chains and your double crochet. So you need another double crochet. So you're going to yarn over and go through that same little hole. And then pull through 2, pull through 2. That's a second double crochet. So your first chain 3 is going to be like it's acting as your double crochet. So we're going to create a corner. So we need a chain of 2. So chain 1, chain 2, yarn over, and where you first put those double crochets, that chain and those double crochets, you want to go back through that hole. Okay, let's see, go back through this hole here. So, but I also want to like cover up this tail. That you can sew this tail in afterwards, but I just find that it's easier if you hang on to it and then just follow along. Like I'm just kind of encompassing it into your work. Then it's easily hidden and you don't have to deal with it later on. So I'm gonna do my double crochet. Sometimes you have to just kind of make it a little bit bigger, so because you gotta put your hook through there. You gotta be able to work in it. So another double crochet, that's 2, and then and then you're going to create another corner. So you want to chain 2. Sorry, I keep forgetting where the camera is. So chain 2 to create another corner, and then yarn over, and still in that same little hole that you created. You can see my little tail is still being tucked in. So I'm going to go through there and create 3 more double crochets. Right. Now this yarn is acrylic, so it doesn't have a lot of give, but with all yarns you should be able to pull it kind of slightly just so it's workable. So there's my 3. So now I've got, you can see I've got one corner, 2 corner. I'm going to make a 3rd corner by putting 2 chains in. And 3 double crochet. One, 2, 3. So now I've got my 3 corners, right? So, like you see where we have our first chain of 3, right? So we got 1, 2, 3. That's where we want to close off the chain, or close off this. Make this part our other corner. So we want to chain 1, and then our first chain 3, we want to put our hook through there and make sure that we've got both loops hooked on. We'll pull our yarn through here, and this is a single crochet. So we've got our corners just a little bit different, but this is our new corner right here, right? So we want to chain 3, and then you have to be careful. You need to turn your work. Doesn't matter if you turn it left or right, because you're still going to, like, you got to turn your work. So, and then you got to work inside this corner that you created. So this chain is going to be your first double crochet is the chain, and then a double crochet and another double crochet. And then I am going to find my little stitch marker. So this corner, I don't want to lose that corner. I need to make sure that I remember that I made this part. I have to add the 3 extra double crochets. So this is the corner I want to concentrate on. So I've got my chain, my double crochets, and I want to yarn over and go straight into this hole here where our corner is. These are our corners. And these holes are called shells. So I want to put 3 double crochet, this first part of the shell. And because it is our corner, you want to make sure that these are moved down and that you chain 2. All corners get chain 2, and then you add your other 3 double crochets. All your corners are going to have 6 double crochets. It just gets divided with the chain 2. So your chain 2 has 3 double crochets on either side. So there's your new corner. So then yarn over, go straight into your other corner, and put your next set of double crochets in. Look at that. This yarn it's kind of funny. We've got chunky bits. This is our corner. And it's gonna have a chunky double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then move it over. Kind of just, I don't know if you can hear it. You'll hear it when you're working on it. It has to, all your yarn is kind of going over a link, so it kind of sounds like it pops. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt anything. And then I do the 2 chains to make sure that I got a corner, and then yarn over and put the next 3 double crochets in. Right, and then I'm going to drop my work for a second here, so I'm going to pull this up. But you see where our tail is? Because we worked it in, I'm not too worried about this tail anymore, so I'm just going to cut it off. And then, then put my next double crochets in this corner. Super cute. Love this. I love the color of this one. You saw me, I moved it over. I'm going to put the 2 little chains in because it is my corner. Add my double crochets. Anyways, it kind of an interesting yarn, this one. I don't know how, I've had it for quite a while, but it's just kind of bulky and chunky in a few different spots, and I love the colors. It kind of goes with just about anything. Okay, so I've got my 3rd corner. Look at, it's so cute. My 3rd corner already. So here's my marker. This is where I know where to go next. So this will be yarn over straight into that corner, and this will be the last part or the first part. I don't know what you would consider. This is just the last of the row, but the first part of the corner. Okay, so I've got my 3 double crochets. Here I'm going to chain 1, and then I find the top of my chain 3 and make sure that I've got 1, 2, 3, but I want this. There we go. Must have pulled too hard here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, you want to make sure you have the 2 loops. Do I have? Oh, there's my clock. Yeah, so I have the 2 loops. It just lays better if it's got the 2 loops. Okay. So pull through, and then it's a single crochet. Come on. Oh, I made it so tight. So sorry. Okay. So you can see how quickly, look at that. It's so adorable. So I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to yarn, turn my work and yarn over. And right where, this is my corner. So this is the corner I want to work in. So chain 2. I'm sorry, not chain 2. Double crochet twice, and then put my little marker in there. And then you saw, like the first row, we went into the corners. Well, now the second row has an extra hole. So in that hole, you need, what you need to do is just yarn over and straight into that hole, right into that shell. See? You always want 3 double crochet. Okay? So yarn over, and here's our corner. So we're going to put the 3 double crochet, and it is a corner, so we're going to do the 3 double crochet, and then the chain 2. Here's, right? I always move it down, and then I chain 2. Doesn't matter. You can put chain 2 and then move it down. I move it down just so that they don't overlap. That sits nicer when it's all said and done. It eventually will work itself out as you're working on it, but I just like it personally. It's a personal preference. There's our 3. And you gotta remember, we have an extra little hole here. So we're gonna yarn over, go through that extra little shell. And there's our 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet again into this next shell, which is our corner. And freaking loose it is. It's like kind of like a raw edge, or I don't know, tail end. Just seems like it's unique anyways. You just have to kind of not pull so hard. Well, sort of. You gotta be able to make sure you clear everything too. So there's our 3. And here's our other shell in the middle. That's 1 and 2 double crochet, 3. After a while it just becomes second nature just to keep kind of tossing in 3 double crochets. As long as you remember where your corners are. One, 2, 3. Move it over, and then chain 1, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Super easy pattern to learn from, or to as you're learning. It's pretty forgiving. So here's our last hole. So here's our last shell, whole shell, whichever you want to call it. So before we get to the corner. So adorable. Let's make a great Afghan if you had enough of these little squares. I was seeing a hack that you could put some chopsticks into like a cardboard box or whatever to keep all your squares all nice and tidy, so they're all like the chopsticks went through all the corners, just like the 4 corners. It was pretty cute. Good idea. Okay, so here we know that our stitch marker. So we know here's our last corner. Some people would call it the last corner, or the beginning of the first corner. That's where you want to join it. So here we've got your 3, 1, 2, 3 double crochets. So chain 1, joining this. Here's my 1, 2. Oh, this one I've really got tight. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can get through here. Yes. So you can see I've got the 2 loops that I need, but underneath it's like where it joins right in here. That's what I need. So I need to now chain 1, or not chain 1. That's a single crochet. Now you chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then turn your work. Let's turn it this way. So see this little loop here? I missed it. It's part of that. So if you miss it and you go to do another stitch on top of it, it will actually lock your loops. So you want to make sure that when you're pulling your loops through that you don't accidentally catch this little piece of this guy. So you want to make sure that you got free flowing yarn here. But yeah, let's put our stitch marker in. Okay, so this row you can see you've got 1, 2 shells. This is the third row. 1, 2 shells, and then the corner. This is one corner, this is the other corner, right? So now you're going to go 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, because this is your corner. You want to keep your corners as corners. And the reason why you turn your work is so when you're making your squares, like you're making your granny square, you want it to stay square. If you turn your work, if you don't turn your work, your granny square kind of turns a little and it doesn't work out very well. So you want to make sure you turn your work, put in your double crochets, on every when you begin your next new set of row, right? So turn your work. There's a reason why you turn your work. It's to keep everything square. So keep going. It's pretty straightforward. You've got your double crochets of 3 in each cell. And when you get to your corners, you have to make sure that you've got your chain of 2 to make the corner. So I'm going to stop yammering in your ear and you go back and forth or pause or whatever as you need. But I will meet you. I will meet you at the end. All right. So we'll catch up, and I'm gonna continue all the way to, well, the 6th row. Remember, if you want to make three rows, like this is your 3 rows, right? If you're making something small like a Afghan or a shirt, a sweater, you just want to keep your squares nice and small. Afghan, all depending on the size of your Afghan and how many different colors you want, I would make my Afghan like either the 3s or the 5s, like rows. So I'm making 6 because I'm using this as a pot holder, something to put my pots down on my table, because as you can see I've got plastic covering my tablecloth. So I need to make sure that the pots don't go through. And these are rather cute way to do it. So anyways, I will meet you once we go around. Go around, keep going around, because I've showed you how to do it a few times. If you don't remember, go back, pause, rewatch what you need to. But I will meet you at the end of row 6. Okay, I'm back to the last row. I finished all 6 rows. I'm just gonna chain 2 and put the last sets of double crochets in the last part of the row. because I find granny squares are, I don't know, it's a cute little project and you can do so much with. It doesn't take long from row to row. So we just yarn over and just keep going. You can see your 3, so you just keep going to the next shell. And next is 2. 3 double crochets. Next shell. Super easy. Love it. Love things that are easy. And this yarn is kind of like the ends of the, I don't know where when I picked this up probably years ago, but it seems like it's all ends, and I love the color. That's what made me bought it, actually. It's all the different colors and hues in this one. Kind of goes with a little bit of everything. So, okay, see, here's my last, here's my last set of double crochets for this corner. Oh, and I moved my marker so it wasn't in like the corner, like I just, here, I'll undo this, because I had said I put it in this hole so you know where to put the last set of double crochets. Well, I was having issues, so I figured, well, I might as well just mark that chain 3. So as you can see, you can put the marker wherever it is that you're going to remember, or whatever's easiest for you to remember to get the hook where you need it to be. 1, 2, 3. Here's our last one. Pardon me. So here I've got my hook. I'm just going to take my, well, first of all, I'm going to slip stitch this, right? Because it's, and I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to slip this in where the marker was, and I'm going to chain 1. But because I'm ending it here, I'm going to slip stitch. And then somewhere back here, I'll cut it off, pull your end through, and I just kind of tug it a little bit. And then you can see your finished work. I'm going to take your tail. It's kind of long tail, but just, did you see that? What I did, I just took the yarn, kind of bowed it around the needle end, so I hang on to it so it's nice and tight, so I can shove it through there. And then you don't have to fight. And sometimes if you get a hold of 1 strand or 2 strands, it makes it terrible to deal with it. So just pull it. So you don't want to go, I like to go so it's like kind of turn your work, and then I weave it kind of back in through here. Just weave it back and forth. So you can see stems, and pull it through. And then, pardon pardon me again. And then you want to be able to like kind of go over, like here's where it ends, it's coming through. So you want to go back over it. Like don't go through the same one. Miss one and kind of weave back and forth again through those loops. And just to kind of tie it in with this corner, I'm going to take it to the corner. Don't pull too hard, but I'm going to weave it back and forth. So you see, I'm not going through the loops this way. I'm going underneath the loops. Right? And then, I don't know, go 3 or 4, whatever, down the way. Oh, and I let go of the yarn. So, easy peasy. Give it a squeeze. Okay, so back from the corner, right? Like I can start underneath this corner, through the loop, or through, like underneath the loop. And then pull. So you can see like here's your loop. Pull this up. You want to under that loop. Under that loop. Under that loop. Here's our string, or our tail. Under that loop. Under that loop. And yeah, my loop or length was kind of long, so go back a couple times over, and just snip it off. If the tail comes out, then you can always restitch it through. But that's as easy peasy. And then you can kind of go, okay, well, my first one here, that's the back. This is the front. Remember, all your V's. You're going to be able to see all your V's in front of you. Here's my original one. Here's my second one. So it is a little bit smaller, maybe not. I pulled a little too hard, or all depending on where. But another way you can check. Yeah, see, it is a little bit smaller. Anyways, yeah, super cute, super easy, fairly fast. Just a couple hours kind of thing. If you're making a quilt, I don't think I would make my quilt squares this big. I would try to keep it to 5 or 3. Just if you think of like more pleasing to the eye than keeping it to the odd number, even if it is the same color, it would look nicer. So if you use different colors, then obviously you're going to want those 3 different colors or 5 different colors or whatever. But yeah, for sweaters and such, I would use 3, or dresses, 3, size 3 rows. And if it's a blanket, 5. Today I made 6 just because I'm using them for my pots. So judge what you need to, and if you don't like how big it is, then decrease. It's easy. If you're happy with the size it is, and then that's the most important thing. If you come up to it and think, oh, well, I've got 3, maybe I should have taken it to 4 or 5. So yeah, just keep on adding. It's easy peasy. So thanks again for tuning in, and like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.